Hey folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier, Mike's Instant Movie Review. Tonight I just saw Trap. I did not realize this was a M. Night Shyamalan film until the opening credits. And, oh God, I didn't realize that his daughter has got a significant role in this movie until the end credits. I always start these with, should you go see this, should you go not? If you're an old school M. Night Shyamalan fan, you like things like Signs, my personal favorite, still his first and best in my opinion, The Sixth Sense. I think it was Unbreakable after that with Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson. Yeah, if you like M. Night stuff, I think this is a good one. This is a return to form. He did have a slump for several years. If you have not liked M. Night Shyamalan films in the past, I don't know if this one's going to win you over. I don't think so, but it might. Is it gory? Is it excessively violent? I don't think so. I think it's more like a psychological thing. Now I get into the spoilers of our show, folks. I might also have to enlist our friendly flashlight here. For those of you that don't know me, that's fine. One, Mike Messier is where I do Mike's Instant Movie Reviews. Sometimes I'm very outspoken and I swear gregariously. Other times, I'm nice and calm and peaceful. It's always a crapshoot. If you want to say my stuff, One Artist, Mike Messier for my art. One Man and a Camera Films for my films and Messier Mantra interview show. And also, One Pro Wrestling and Sports Fan for the pro wrestling and sports fans. I'm here in Jacksonville, Florida, USA. But I've done these reviews from Texas, New England, all types of wonderful places. So let's get into it. I like this movie. I didn't love this movie. The acting style was unusual. I'm sure that's an M. Night directive. It wasn't that the actors went rogue. It's that the actors were behaving in a way. I'm going to get to my analysis of this, my theory, if you would. But the actors were acting kind of placid, but that's kind of the idea of the film. And what is The Trap? The Trap is basically a fake concert of the top diva of the day. In this fictional movie, it's Lady Raven, kind of, I don't want to say, I guess a gothy Lady Gaga. Like if you took Lady Gaga and kind of gothy, I mean, she's already kind of goth, I guess, but Lady Raven, you get the idea. Edgar Allan Poe, Raven, birds, wings, etc. Now here's the thing, I didn't realize, I believe M. Night Shyamalan's daughter directed a film that was earlier in the summer. I think in May it came out, a horror film of people getting kind of abducted in the woods. I thought the movie was pretty good. Other people didn't think so. I thought it was good. I didn't realize that it was M. Night's daughter who directed it until the end of the film. But I gave that movie, which I don't remember the title now, I gave that a good review. And I didn't realize that she was the actress here, so she's kind of pulling off the Sofia Coppola thing from 20 or 30 years ago. But my initial thought upon this movie, getting close to the end, I was basically thinking, I think the best part of this movie has been Lady Raven. I thought she was very believable as a pop princess. Like it seemed like this, character could exist in our reality, as it were. Why not? She had good dance moves. She was attractive enough. She seemed convincing. I don't know if she sang her own stuff. M. Night's daughter. I don't know her name, but I thought she did very well. I mean, I honestly thought that Lady Raven was my favorite aspect of the film, not knowing it was M. Night's daughter. And I'm not just trying to get a job on an M. Night film or his daughter's film. That's what I thought. The lead guy, sorry, his name is slipping me. It was a familiar name. There's so many actors, so many names. I think it was Jumping Joe Rogan on his podcast said recently that the human brain is really not supposed to know all these names or have the capacity to have like 1,000 names memorized. Our brains grew up in these villages where you knew like 30 or 40 people, and now 200, 300, 400 years later, we're supposed to know every goddamn celebrity, every fucking asshole we've seen at every reunion, every person that knows you, we're supposed to know. It's just too many people. So, sorry, don't know all these names. But the actor playing the guy, the dad, I thought was quite good. The girl, I thought was quite convincing as his daughter. Once again, I've said this before, they do a nice job with these casting decisions for kid actors, because anytime you see a movie these days with a kid actor, it seems like there's no bad kid actors. At least, like they do a good job for all these movies I've been seeing. So good kid actor. Little brother was in the movie. He wasn't really around much. The wife, was interesting. Basically, what's my big analysis? What's my bombshell, drop the mic moment on this thing? What am I going to say that you're not going to hear somewhere else? I think this whole movie was a commentary on what's called MK Ultra. Now, I just echoed the words. I just said the words. Therefore, this review might be taken down. Who knows? Or maybe nobody cares anymore. MK Ultra, if you don't know, the letter M, the letter K, and the word Ultra, U-L-T-R-A. There was another word for it, Project. It's a type of monarch. Project Monarch, monarch butterfly. Basically, I believe it was the U.S. government in the 1960s or even the late 50s or 60s that started, where the government would actually test human beings, its own citizens, without their knowledge and or consent, with acid, okay? Acid, to see what would happen when normal human beings got laced with LSD or acid. And not a nice thing to do. Shame, shame, government. But there's also been these theories. Hold on, there's people coming. Hold on. Human beings. There's also been these theories in the years since that if you ever saw getting really close here. Okay, thank God. But there's been these theories. We gotta roll the window down. Jesus. Would you like fries with that, assholes? So, what else? There's been these theories. If you see the Diane Sawyer interview with Britney Spears from, I guess, 20 years ago at this point, where Britney is kind of like, she seems distracted, she seems under the influence of something, or somebody's feeding her information in an earpiece. There's a clip of Beyonce, I guess Beyonce Carter, or just Beyonce, FKA, Beyonce Knowles, just Beyonce. And how many Beyoncés are there? But Beyonce and her husband there, Jay-Z, sitting in, I believe, Madison Square Garden watching a New York Knicks game. And Beyonce's facial expression looks very possessed for about 30 or 40 seconds. There's a basketball player's clip. Who's the guy? I think from the Golden State Warriors. I think that's him. Who, like, he just looks like he freezes for about a minute. Now, some of these things can be explained because digital glitches or, digital stuff, cameras can sometimes present something to the eye that's just a glitch in the camera, and people can get worked up about stuff. But there is stuff that's really pretty odd. And things like Katy Perry, was she actually JonBenet Ramsey? All these conspiracy theories. Some of these videos that just 3 or 4 years ago were on YouTube, I've noticed that some have been pulled down. My favorite conspiracy theory was that Jim Morrison's death was faked and he was repackaged as Rush Limbaugh. So you're saying, Mike, you're going off on this tangent. What's going on? Help us catch up. Well, my theory is that M. Night Shyamalan's movie here is basically a exploration of MK Ultra, okay? Because if you notice in this movie, now that you've seen it, there's a kid in the parking lot walking around by himself. When you see in this movie, Some strange people out here tonight. What you see in this movie is everyone's acting very affected. Even the character of Lady Raven, who's working with the FBI to set up this routine, this bust of the serial killer. They're trying to find a serial killer named the Butcher. It basically seems like the Butcher's been pre-programmed by the FBI because they don't kill him on sight at the end of the movie. I told you spoilers, didn't I? And it seems like our girl here, Lady Raven, doesn't, she seems a little glossed over. And why is this pop star going along with the feds? You know what I mean? Which to me, it seems like he's a Manchurian candidate, the Butcher. He's been set up, he's been programmed, and there's a scene in the truck where Lady Raven speaks to him as if she's his mother, and they kind of share this moment where you can tell that Lady Raven, I don't know if you say has empathy or sympathy for the Butcher, because they've both been through the same type of mind control. So the whole big secret of this movie, and I'm sure I'm not the only asshole to figure this out, but I might be the first asshole to explain it to you fine folks, is that this whole movie, the words that are not spoken are MK Ultra, government programming, Manchurian Candidate, which is another movie. I've never seen it, but I know the concept. Basically, people say that, the guy that shot JFK, he might have been programmed by the government, et cetera, et cetera. So basically, Lady Raven and the antagonist of this film, the father, basically are playing in this story that they've been programmed by the government. Now, nowhere in M. Night's movie is that verbally expressed, which is for the better, because then you have intelligent people like me to kind of communicate these thoughts to you. So you learn something, okay? So, that all being said, is the movie worth giving a shit about, even with this cute little technique and this interesting acting? I don't know. I mean, once again, I always say with these reviews, I go to the movie, I have certain things going on. Did I have a good day? Is this the beginning of my day? Is this halfway in between? What did I bring to the theater tonight? I hate to say it, it's been a recurring theme. Just tiredness, just the heat, the humidity of the summertime fun here in Florida. I'm just not, just not my full October-y self. I'm really a fall individual. Fall, winter, that's my time of year. This is the tough time for me, the heat. So, I mean, and you say, well, gee whiz, why don't you go somewhere else? Well, apparently the whole country's having a heat wave, so it doesn't really matter. But in any regard, I thought the movie was good. I'm not going to stand up and say, oh my God, you've got to go see this movie. It gives you all this insight, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to oversell it. It's entertaining. The style of acting or the style of performance of the glossed over people and the quirkiness of this whole presentation was appropriate for the subject, appropriate for the film. But sitting through it for 2 hours is not exactly enjoyable. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I give this, it's like a 3.5-er. It's like, yeah, it's worth watching. Yeah, it's unique. For instance, when The Sixth Sense was the big thing, that was the big thing because it was so unique. But now M. Night Shyamalan is kind of in that position of, okay, you're known for being quirky and dark, but eventually all your shit seems to be the same. I was very disappointed with Signs, however many years ago. I think that was the aliens in the house one. And then the one with the wood stuff. I remember I didn't see that. I saw that on home video where like the people with the suits or whatever. That one I liked better. And so forth. So, I don't know. I thought this movie was good. I'm not going to put it on the Mount Rushmore of M. Night's movies. I think he had a little cameo in this as one of the dads coming out of the arena. So anyway, the movie was fine. I just don't think it was like, oh my God, this is so awesome. Oh my God, you gotta see it. LOL, hashtag, whatever the fuck. But if you want to see my movie, Blood Sugar Sedace, feature you can watch for free on One Man and a Camera Films, you're saying, well, gee whiz, Mike, give me a short that I can watch. How about a nice 40-minute documentary, Disregard the Vampire, Mike Messier documentary on One Man and a Camera Films. One Man and a Camera Films. Good night.